That's even worse.
Grab my shit, put it back over me, and tucked into it like I burrito roll myself.
Yeah, that's me for sure. Like you can't go get it this
bitch, you gonna take it this time, right?
You got to pull hard. Yeah.
What up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of More to Discuss. We in this joint on the Sunday episode, getting it in so as to make sure y'all get y'all weekly dose. You know what I'm saying? Getting y'all with that weekly fix one time. I am your host, NunFlyyer, here with my beautiful co-host and daughter,
ToJo.
Hey, man. So, we're going to be on parenting today. How about that?
Yes, and we have today we have a special guest. My lovely bruv.
Hello.
Danan.
Yes, I'm Damon.
Like let's say your name because it looks like Demon.
Damon. Yes, my name is Damon. And
hold the phone up a little, put it up a little so we can get you. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself? How are you guys today?
I'm good. Welcome to the show.
Oh yes.
This is the first time you've been hearing about it a lot, but this is your first time actually being a part of it.
Yes, welcome to the pond. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
So we are discussing parenting today, comparing the contrast and the different styles, hopefully expend a little bit of advice and take a little advice because, being kids of parents, you guys know how this shit go too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, hey man, we gonna get it in today. So first off, man, how are both of y'all?
I'm living. I'm eating fruit, y'all. So if y'all see me chewing, this is what I'm chewing.
Yeah, getting a little healthy one time.
You know what I'm saying? Mini mukbang for y'all. I just been really focusing on bettering myself. This year is focusing on real self-love and self-care and self-health. So that's where my main focus has been. Clear my mind and clear my body of all the toxins.
Yes, sir. Detox.
What about you, bruv?
Me, yes, I'm doing good as well. I'm spending time with family more. And I've been more focused on trying to figure out exactly which route I do need to take more with, Hidea. Especially going into 2023 and erasing all the bad habits and bringing in good ones.
Yeah, that's dope.
The beautiful
and
thing
Hidea is your daughter because you is a father.
Oh, yes, definitely.
I am a father and Hidea is my daughter. She is 4.
Gotta let that be known. The beautiful thing is you got a little bit of time in front of you so you can work it out. Nothing to be pressed about. You know what I'm saying? Take it slow. Day at a time. Daily improvements are improvements indeed. So just move forward. Like, don't feel pressure to do everything all at one time.
That's the big thing.
I'd say that is one of my big focuses, especially with her. Is taking my time because she's already, been displaying that above regular, like levels of just academics and just knowledge. She's always explained.
She's always smart.
She's always put that out there. So.
Feed it.
Yeah, so I'm feeding. I gotta feed good habits and good thoughts and all of that, and it's just like keeping up with a 4-year-old. And especially since she's learning quick. The faster she learns, the quicker I gotta be, and I just gotta learn more patience.
Exactly. Exposure is everything now. Between between now and the age of 6, 5, exposure is everything. So, yeah, man, feed it. Books, words, letters, colors, numbers, everything. Feed it.
I'm talking about everything.
Yeah. So
I want to start off by rolling into the topic of parenting. I want to start it off by asking a question of to y'all, because I'm not a parent. This is a question to parents, of course. But how do y'all combat with being in a stressful mind state and still having to tend to your kids? How is that? How do y'all do that? But still give that love and that nature, that nutrient that they need, but you feeling no. Like, how do y'all do that?
Honestly, I believe a lot of it is instinct. Like, once you have a kid, it's a totally different. It's something that clicks in you. It's no longer a me kind of thing. So you'll think outside of yourself a lot. You know what I mean? So although you may sacrifice stress and some type of mental capacity, you may suffer. It'll all be for the greater good because your body ain't gonna allow you to not do it unless you're just a piss poor person. So it's not like a deal with kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? It's more of a instinct. You gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't do it, then shit won't go right. And it's more of a, like, you know that. It's more of a, you know what I'm saying? Like your body, the way your mind moves is different. It's no second guessing it, I guess. That's what it is. Okay. So it's not like a deal with kind of thing. It's more instinct. Like pretty much, you know, stressful situations, you still got to look out for the kid. Still got to make sure they're straight. Still got to make sure you straight. It's a whole thing.
Okay. What about you, Damon?
I try to make sure whatever, if it's like, if I'm having a moment of frustration or anything like that, I would try to like get what she need, make sure she's okay, and then I'll take like my 30-second, my little minute woosah. I'll step away from her, you know, I'll make sure she's straight. She won't even notice I'm even gone. It seems like I'm going to the bathroom to her, but I always try to make sure she's not in my mix.
Okay.
And if I could keep it away from her, you know, I will.
And it's also important to sleep. Like as less of it as you'll get, because those are the truly detoxing. When you're talking about detoxing your brain, that's how you do that shit, by sleep. So it's imperative that you have to find, you know, a little help if you can get it, and take as many naps as possible, because that recharge is going to be everything. Like you really gotta rest that shit out. You know what I mean?
Okay. That makes sense. Okay. Because I just be seeing, like, I don't know if you know, it's a new show on Hulu. It's called Parent Test, I think it is. And it's about like different parenting styles and different stuff like that. And that's kind of what provoked me to want to have this episode today, because I've been dibbling and dabbling in that. And like just seeing different like cultures and different parenting styles and like the way people do things differently. It's like, I wonder how the people in my circle really actually like handle this stuff, like, but on the backhand of everything. Because you know, I see it, but like, you know, how is it for y'all? From the outside, it's completely different from the inside. So,
I believe parenting is a weird thing in the fact that everybody has, like, you pretty much steered by the way you were parented. But once you have your own kids, you kind of have a fucking sense of, these my kids. I do what I want to do with my kids, type of thing, right?
Right.
So it's a weird thing in the fact that it's different for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Most of it is how you were raised, but you know the shit that you feel was wrong in raising you, or the shit that you know could have been done a different way. So you try to steer towards that way. But it's different for everybody, I believe, because, you know, not everybody's kids are the same. Shit, not everybody's situations are the same.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? So you got to kind of map your way through it, find morals and stick to those. You know what I'm saying? You know how you want your kids to be raised, man. Like, you know.
That's my biggest thing. Like, when I do become a parent, like, everybody's like, oh, like my mom friend, she'd be like, whatever you're saying, like, we have kids gonna all go out the window because they're gonna be like this, or they're gonna be, it's like, no, because I really feel like it's what you put into them, literally from the moment they come out of you until, like, there's no, if you are that person that's like, oh, I'm not gonna chastise or, you know what I'm saying, steer my child in a certain path until they're 2 or 3 years old, like, as like, you know what I mean, discipline and everything like that. And then they're 2 and 3 years old, 4 and 5, and they're acting ballistic in public, and they're doing too much, or they don't understand like time and the place or inside voice and things like that. How do you expect them to understand that? You're just teaching them this. They don't know that. They've been growing up being able to scream and yell and kick and holler and do whatever they want all the way up until now. Whether if it was 2 years, 3 years, that still is implanted in them that they can do that whenever. So it's like, I want to be not strict, but very
on top of it.
Like disciplined and strategic with my kids from the jump, because I don't want them to just be however.
Yeah, I'd also say, but that comes along with consistency as well, though.
Exactly.
Because, like, even if you are to be like that person that is, you know, providing that structure and then the discipline, if you send your child somewhere else and then they're not still receiving that same type of structure or discipline when they come back to you, it's gonna seem like you're always constantly rewiring. So that also could be, you know, mom. She's very
You know, but
supportive
that's
of
why
her
I always,
grandchildren.
not even to be funny. That's why I put it to myself in the sense of like, before a certain age, I don't want my kids standing at people's houses. I don't want my kids doing that because I needed to have the drilled into their hair to where, into their head to where it's like, can't nobody manipulate you mentally and tell you what to do. You know right from wrong. You know how you're supposed to do things. Regardless of where you're at, this is how it goes. You will be
Right.
equipped with everything you need to move how you need to move. So
Hmm.
there should be no excuses. You know what I mean? And that's why I was like, oh, you're trying to be funny. No, I want to have my kids to myself for like the first 5 or 6 years of their lives. Not like isolated from everybody, but I'm saying like overnights, weekends, like longevity time periods, the time where you can actually see patterns. No, I don't want that.
So
Not for
I
the
believe
first beginning.
I believe even in that fact, it goes back to what the mom was saying. It's a constant reset. Like you always have to have in your mind that you're going to have to repeat yourself
Yeah.
a billion times, and it's the staying consistent with that, or in terms of it's staying uh, steadfast or determined in wanting your kids to grow up a particular way, and that's the only way it's going to go because. What you tell them from the time they're in your house, from the time they're 0.1 day old to the time they leave at 18, what they're going to stand on mostly is the shit that you say, right? They're going to meet friends, they're going to hear shit, and they're going to come back and ask you.
Yep.
Or they're going to do some off shit and then you're going to correct them because that is what you're supposed to do as a parent, right? So anybody who doesn't do it, a lot of lazy people don't do it because they figure their kids, they'll find their way. Oh, they know right from wrong. They know not to cuss people out. And you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you ain't reinforcing shit. You know what I'm saying? You're not reinforcing shit. And discipline is a big thing, even if it's not a physical kind of thing. That consequences must be suffered for bad actions. As well as good ones. So don't be afraid to reward either. Like all of that shit counts. All of that shit counts.
And that was something that I believe definitely strong in, especially with like along with discipline and reward. Like when my daughter, she was in her daycare program. If she would have a good day at school, if she have a good week, we'd do something at the end of the week. Like we'd go get ice cream or we go to the movies or something like that. Just something at the end of the week she always knows she'll look forward to on that Friday.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was she always made sure she was always doing good in school. Like she never got a bad report when she started realizing, okay, this is not going to benefit me, but this will.
But I feel like
in the long run.
I feel like in this life though, unfortunately, like a lot of people don't have that understanding of the separation between discipline and it being physical. Like when people think of like discipline, the kids, they automatically draw to whooping them or like something like that.
Or
and
raising
it's like
the hand.
it's really not about that, or even being yelling. You know what I mean? Yelling, like you can have a stern voice and a stern tone to kids, where you don't have to raise your voice, but they will get the point. You know what I mean? And I feel like a big like example of that for me, and growing up was like watching like my wife and kids, like the way he disciplined his kids, like if they did something stupid, he did something stupid back to them. If they pissed him off, he pissed them off. But in a way of like understanding, like if you do this, this is what's gonna happen. So when you do something, it's gonna have a reaction to it, regardless of what it is. If you know it ain't right, you're gonna get a reaction, and if you like it, you don't. Like that's what it is.
Right. And also
like,
what I've noticed about kids is the little bit of discomfort is magnified because they're kids. So it can be in a corner for 5 minutes. Now 5 minutes gonna seem like 50 to them because they're kids.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the corner is definitely. I stop raising my voice with her. I just put up my hand. I go like this. Once she see my fingers start counting down, she automatically knows it's like, all right. She knows the countdown means it's either corner or I'm gonna lay down. And
she don't want to
laying down. She starts getting up. Now she goes straight to the corner. She.
That's good, but that's what I'm saying. You like you said, that consistency is being drilled into her to understand. Like, okay, I know I'm not supposed to be doing this, but if I do it, this is what's gonna happen.
Yep.
So that's exactly what I was saying.
And I was saying that in the terms of it really doesn't have to be physical, because any kind of discomfort for a kid is fucking ridiculous. They think it's the end of the world at that point. So, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be a physical thing. It can literally be, as easy.
Because one of the things I remember the most from being young is when like my auntie, like, I had a little potty mouth. So whenever I would curse or anything like that, I'm not supposed to. Hello, mother.
Hello, children.
This is my mother, guys.
Yes, this is our mom.
Hi. I'm the baby's mother.
Okay. But no, like when I was younger and then I was like cuss or anything would happen that I'm not supposed to be doing. Like spitting the corner, like soaping your mouth or something like that. Like that's something that you remember. Like you said,
But that's abuse. You know, they have all types of bullshit.
But that's
so
still discomfort.
yeah,
That's connected to the discomfort.
they have like lie and all types of other weird ass shit that shouldn't be in
No,
anybody
I
in
know.
general. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I wouldn't advise
That's
that
not okay
form
to
of
do.
discomfort.
But I'm saying, like, I connected that to that discomfort though, and it stuck. You know what I mean? So like,
I just wouldn't advise soap.
no,
Hot
I
sauce
would
probably.
never do that,
Yeah.
or like the standing
you
in a
know.
corner, holding meat with your hands.
Oh no, just the corner is fine.
No,
just
like,
the corner is fine.
Hold on.
That's horrible.
Hold on. Wait. No, I will definitely testify. I would say if you want to, if the child is older, then yes. I'd say
No.
give them something to hold because one, especially if it's a boy, that's gonna build them
Gotta
so
get
much
harder.
more discipline.
Gotta get harder.
You gotta be
Gotta
harder.
get
Now,
harder.
a girl,
Gotta
you
get
don't have to make her hold no meat or nothing like that. Make her hold a pencil out in front of her. That's a pencil gonna get heavy real quick. I promise you.
Especially like this. Just holding her hands
Exactly.
out front
You're
without
gonna-
putting them down.
It's a mental thing. So once you get them like, okay, I don't want to do that. I'm telling you, it's a real mental thing. I
Anywhere
promise.
it go, it ain't right.
Slight discomfort is okay as long as it's not harming.
Me to that though, like that's what I connected to that though. Like when he said discomfort, that was the first thing that popped in my head.
Yeah,
Like
but
how
it's like
uncomfortable it was standing in the corner with some soap. Like
I made Hidea stand in the corner, like literally just recently. She stood in the corner, and I realized when she's standing in the corner without shoes, you know, your feet is flat, you're comfortable. When she put on her shoes, she stood in that corner. She didn't want to do nothing else after that. She was on her best behavior because it made her uncomfortable. It took her out of something that was easier to do.
yeah.
So I was like, I'm just gonna start it small.
I feel like
Whatever.
I didn't get in the corner. When I get that little lean, she be chilling. She don't worry about you.
Oh yeah, she don't get that lean. You already know she's not getting that lean with
That
me.
little
I
lean,
make her
twiddle her finger, shit. Not worry about you.
look. I make her stand at attention. She be standing in the corner, heels together, feet spread at a perfect angle, and hands by her side. She don't do nothing.
Not the military stand.
He stands there perfectly fine every time. But that's my thing. I'm strong. I'm a strong advocate for the corner. Before you raise your hand to pop him, put him in the corner. Don't even raise your voice.
I don't know that because like
Just say corner. Don't even
I feel
raise
like
your
corner
voice.
is like
It's
a
isolation.
good thing. Like it's a good isolation, but at the same time, like
It's literally, think about it. Don't even think
I
about
don't
it
know,
as
like
don't
it
think
can
about it as a
it's
punishment.
bearable for me. Like
But
it's very
don't
bearable.
think about
to get used to it. Like
no, you can't. You can never get used to a corner. You wanna know why? It's those two same walls every time. You know it's gonna be two white walls to your left and your right, and you hear everything in the background. You will never get used to that. You will never
bro,
get
that's
used to
why
the.
I'm the type of person where I lay in my iPhone listening and listen. to
Yeah, but
TV.
see,
so I can
that's
stand in
you.
the corner with my eyes closed and be listening to the TV. Sometimes I'm gonna imagine in my head what's going on. Like
you an adult.
that's real.
You're an adult though. When you was a kid, you used to hate sitting in the corner because your imagination won't run in that wild.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Okay.
all about that where you're at. Like kids not gonna be thinking about that. They're gonna be hearing that noise like, oh my God, I want to get to it. And they can't get to it because, you know?
Yeah. Well,
That's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
I feel that. I agree 110%. I feel like being a parent, like I want to be one of those parents that are more like emotionally available.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be like, not to say like I don't want to be stern on my kids because I don't want to have kids that think, oh, they can run over me, anything. Like that's definitely
no,
never the game.
not
That's never the way. But
discipline.
it's gonna be an understanding of like, I'm not gonna be that lecture parent. I'm like I said, I'm gonna be like the dad off my kids. Like you do something stupid, something's gonna happen to you. You think something like no, it's always gonna be a reaction. So think about what you do because think about it. If you do this, just know
Something's
something
gonna
else
happen.
is gonna happen, and it's not gonna be something that you like. So that's what I want to have with my kids. Like, I want them to have that understanding. Like You do everything you do has a reaction. So whether it's a good or a bad one, but that's your choice.
Oh yeah, Haide's been on. Haide's been on Play-Doh restriction for like 2 days now. She's been going through it. She wake up every morning. She's like, I want to play with Play-Doh. Go out there, can't find it. She kept wetting it. She kept pouring water on it. Kept trying to feed it to her baby dolls. You know, little small things.
That's why she needs stuff like. She needs something like a baby alive with the food.
She got it.
She wants something like that.
She got the baby alive with the food. She don't want to just feed it. She want to feed that baby everything under the sun, which is not a problem because it's her toy and stuff like that, right? And I can clean it out, but it's it's the mess that she makes, and it's her understanding that she don't got to make that big of a mess to enjoy herself.
Yeah.
So that's mostly what my focus on with removing the Play-Doh was removing the big mess factor, so you can understand you can still play and still enjoy yourself, but be able to clean your stuff up as quickly as you messed it up.
Yep. I'm big on that. You make a mess, you're gonna clean that up. I'm not. I don't care who you is. Okay. I'm not. That's still gonna. I already know. Just dealing with her. That's probably gonna be one of my biggest points I gotta always harp on with her is picking up her toys. As soon as she done, she just feels as though she got pick up and next activity. Yeah, she just get up and go. Her day will be coloring, drop your pencil, get up and go do something else. It's like
start playing with a mermaid or playing with her dolls or.
You're not coloring me no more. What's going on? But no, okay. So because you are a parent, I do have another question.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you had your first child, was it like an instant for you like, oh no, I don't want to.
No, that's not.
Teach kids to protect themselves from the world. Ooh, that's a good question. I want you to answer his and then think about mine. We'll go back to mine. That was a good one. How do you teach your kids to protect themselves from the world?
I mean, you can only provide them with as much knowledge, really, as their age would allow you. Obviously, so obviously keeping them aware of certain things, like don't give them keywords on their body. Let them understand what they have, that they're different from everybody else. Not everybody else can interact with them in certain ways. You'd always want to make sure that you just keep your kid educated as their age goes. You always want to make sure that their knowledge is going to stay relevant to whatever they could be facing in their age and maybe just a little above.
Okay, so are you big on like already, because she is 4, like is she knowledgeable like the stranger danger energy like type of thing?
Yes. The only thing she did, her biggest thing for strangers is just saying hi. Like she won't approach one. If someone approaches her, she like immediately, if she's not next to you and she's in front of you, she's gonna step into you. At least when she's with me. When we're out, when we go to the store, if somebody looks at her, she steps into me. She like immediately grabs on. So she already knows like I'm the safety net.
Yeah.
So as long as she feels that I'm around, I mean, I don't really feel as though she needs to completely protect herself, because obviously she's only 4.
Yeah, but what if it's just like, okay, you know how kids are in the store and you're in the store with kids and kids get rowdy, and you take her out the car and she just dash off from fucking Walmart. You're looking for her, but she just running around going, Dad! You know what I mean? Being crazy how they are. What tactic do you think will resonate to her if it was for someone to like step up to her and try like, hey, little girl, come here? Like,
she's probably gonna run. Like 9 times out of 10, she's gonna run. Like, cause she don't really know them, and then especially since she hasn't been introduced, it's like okay, security. That's security and police. She already knows like those are like the 2 things. Like she knows a police officer is safe. Yeah, that would like help. She knows police officer is safe. No matter where she see a police, she say, "Hi, police. Thank you, police. I love you, police." That's her. So she knows. She also knows police are, if something's wrong, you go to them. She knows. Yeah. We've always instilled that. She watched our TV shows. The kid TV shows also instills that fact. Also, I don't really think I would end up. Well, I'm not saying I don't think I want to. I haven't ran into a problem like that with her doing her little crazy runoff. because even
Yeah,
though
'cause
she,
we strong on stay right here, you know, but
yeah,
like,
she
we
knows.
strong
She
on
knows
that.
no
Like,
matter how much,
we're not
no
doing
matter
that.
how much, how angry she is, how mad she is. If we out in public, you leave from my side, you will not be going nowhere without being held by my hand for like the entire outing and next few outings after that. So she stays close.
So look, we almost lost Nola at the beach one day. She's supposed to be going off to the fucking bathroom with some of her younger cousins, and I guess they just left her or some shit. So we was trying to exit the everybody's trying to leave the beach and shit, and we couldn't find Nola. Luckily, she had presence of mind to go to the fucking, because where we were was by a fucking lifeguard tower, right? So she had presence of mind to go to a lifeguard tower. It was like the next one over from us, but you know how they be separated like down the way.
It's a good distance apart.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and that's where she was. Man, that was the scariest shit ever, nigga. I'm like, nigga, call the motherfucking SWAT team and the swimming ducks and the motherfucking everybody, and they come lock this bitch down, nigga. Y'all on some bullshit.
I'm not even gonna lie. That right there,
that shit was crazy shit. But she had presence of mind at, what was that, 4 years old, to go find that tower. You know what I'm saying? So that was, thank God though, that shit was crazy. But yeah, you got to teach them those landmarks. They gotta know where safety is all the time, because that's what she did.
And she followed straight to that.
Went to the guard's house.
Okay, so I did see a question popping up at the bottom and said, when is Santa out of here? So I'm guessing that means, when do you expose to your child that you are Santa? Santa is not really a thing, it's an idea for Christmas.
Well, I'll say,
what do y'all think is healthy for that?
I'll say I'll let her grow out of it on her own. Like, first off, TV shows now, with movies and stuff like that, like I have her watch this one movie called Claus. It's like about Santa Claus, and it's the whole thing about giving the gifts. Yeah. And it's about giving the gifts and stuff like that. And it's just about a mailman. It's not even like he's a magical person. It's just a woodsmith and a mailman. And it's their adventures together and how Christmas came to be about in this little one area with distributing gifts and stuff like that. So from that, I'm going to let her take it until she asks me, like, hey, Dad, is Santa real? And she's at like a age where it's not like I'm damaging her childhood foundation.
Right.
Because as long as she has her imagination, because she even thinks fairies is real. Unicorns, she don't believe in, which I don't understand
I mean, they are, but whatever.
She believes mermaids are real.
They are too.
She already has her own beliefs set up in her own mind. So if she was to tell me Santa's not, she'd be like, come to me, Dad, Santa's not real. I mean, I'm going to go along with what she already has in her mind set in stone. I'm not going to try to be like, oh, no, you're 4. Santa's real to you. No, she's smart. And with the exposure that she already has, even when she's not around me, I can't control what anybody else says. So if somebody was to tell somebody, I'll just let her know, gradually break it down. If she seemed devastated, I'm going to try to navigate for her. But it's whenever really it seemed for her, it's better. Not really. Okay. It's all about her own timing.
So being raised by people who, with had, like my mom's and my brother and them pops, my step pops, they did all of the Christmas shits, presents and the trees and all that shit. But, we knew where it was coming from. Like, I don't think no one ever shattered my, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it was ever told to me. It was just something that automatically, fucking organically was just like, nigga, why we always got to hide everybody? Why we always got to go outside?
Right, and then like you can't go in
right, you know what I'm saying? Like, why all of us are like, you start
2 weeks out of the month, together. You can't go in the room.
See what I'm saying?
It's like presents.
Right, you know what I mean? Now all of us, right. Yeah. So it's like, or you'll see wrapping paper rolls.
Right, like
you know what I'm saying?
You go in the hall closet. Like, hey, she's smart. She went in the hall closet before she
I don't think
with
it's
the
the type
paper.
of thing that you have to do. I just think it's the type of thing that they automatically grow out of, like just knowing the way you move and, the shit that you do. And I think it's the type of shit that they'll just grow out of. Like, no one ever had to tell me Santa Claus was real. I just grew out of that shit.
I think I want to have my boyfriend, husband, dressed up as Santa Claus and like be Santa Claus, so that when they ask like who's Santa Claus, like they daddy is Santa Claus. Like they like that's
right.
That's cool. Yeah, like that's
that is nice.
I can see
I
that.
did
Like when they wonder, like
Spray.
they were like, "Oh, Santa Claus, you can't shout at my kids because they're gonna tell you my daddy." Every Christmas, I see my daddy turn into Santa Claus every Christmas.
I can see that.
Like,
I can see that.
That's what I was.
Because it's still not lying to him, you know.
No,
It's
it's
not.
right. It's the same shit.
Basically, what we do anyways, but you're giving somebody else the credit. No, I'm gonna give the credit to the person that actually
doing it. Yeah.
So yeah,
I see that. And no matter what that is wrapped up in, you know what I'm saying? I know my daddy Santa Claus, nigga. That nigga.
Yeah, like that's
every year. Who's Santa Claus, nigga? My daddy. I got pictures to prove it. Look,
and you can't,
you know,
you can't say he's not real.
Daddy,
right?
so.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I can dig that. I can see that.
That's always real. Yeah, that's nice.
I can see that for sure. That's dope.
That's how I do that one.
You know what I mean? That's a step up because niggas. Now I wouldn't have thought about that shit.
I didn't either. I just thought about putting a little white spray paint on the floor with the little stuff that you can vacuum up later for the kids.
I'll bust
not
hat.
the footprint.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, but kids are smart. You know
they are though. And
that's why I gotta do it like that because I don't want to feel like she lying to me or not. Like that's your dad. Like that's him.
Nah, like.
How do you get teenagers to understand that their world costs money?
Stop buying shit when they act up.
Yeah.
No, responsibility from the get-go. Like when they can understand, like look like making chores and things like that in the sense of making money, doing things like to where they know like, okay, I have to do this to get that. Yeah. Like money ain't just gonna come to me. Like I'm gonna be very strict on that. Like you know what I'm saying? You want some money, nigga? It's leaves in the yard. You can I'll give you a couple of dollars. You get
it's some trash that you gotta pick up.
Yeah, you do that at an early age.
You know, it's some dishes in the sink.
And then when they ask you for something,
when you need some money, I mean.
And then when they ask you for something, you gotta make sure that they got their money. Make sure they know they gotta spend their own money. You can't just give them chores and then buy everything for them anyway.
Oh no!
So you got all that shit gotta be reinforced. But
you know how they call kids your broke best friends these days? I'm not gonna have none of those.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna have none of those. Like no, because it's still my money just going into your pockets though, so it's still the same difference. So
that's
no, we're not
solid.
doing that.
That's solid historical fundamental responsibility teaching, right? Like you know, we've all been taught that same way. I don't think that's an evolution that'll ever go out because you know you got to teach a motherfucker how to survive, and by doing that, let them know that nigga, you got to go do this job to get this money. You know what I'm saying? And that's what anything in life. You got to work for everything. That's what just comes to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying?
But a lot of kids
still did them early.
This newer generation though, like some get it and a lot don't. Like spoiled is spoiled is spoiled is spoiled, and it's like give. Or you gonna do it, or you gonna do your chores, or you gonna do this, or you gonna do that. Maybe don't do it. Do whatever they want. If they do, they don't. If they do, fuck it. No, like you know, like it's really,
but the
bad.
beauty of that is it's not your kid. So
no, not mine. But
you know what I mean?
It does make me mad though because
that's my pickup.
A kid that had that installed in me, like you know, you gotta do this. This is what you know. What I mean, you want to enjoy your weekend. All week you doing your chores, so that in the weekend time come Friday, come to you get out of school, you get to go live your life, do what you gotta do. You get your allowance, you live. You know what I mean? So it's like coming from that and then seeing this newer generation that don't have that. It's like
it's crazy.
Like, it's just almost like, damn, it makes me mad.
Well, I believe it's because time is moving. Well, the parents of the younger generation were moving so fast, and the fact that they really didn't have time to make sure their kids did for themselves. They just had to made up in their mind that they had to do.
And they had to
start off into that habit, right?
And it's just push and provide. It's never like sit back and actually understand and break it down. Right. And that's what I say. That was a start. That was a starting problem, you know, especially with Haidea, because me and her go out, me, her, and her mom, you know, all of us would be out together. She wants something, especially when she would always get it, and especially like starting early, anything she wanted, we always made sure she had it, because you know, just like something growing up, you know, it's like always wanting to give that what you didn't receive, but then it's like what you were receiving at that time was actually the lesson that
So I believe that's important
and turned it around, which I'm fixing it now to get it to her.
that's what you're supposed to do when they're younger, when they're babies like that. Then you're supposed to give because they shouldn't want the shit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When they get older, when they get into a more physical, able to do, you can have it, but now you can have it if you do this, and then you slowly get it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then you slowly introduce that to them because as a child, unless they need to be denied, like in a disciplinary action, or they simply don't need it, you really don't want to have a baby nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
of course not. And that's why. That's what I'm thinking. That's why I was like, I just need to. That's why I'm in my own mind of taking it more slow because she's been such a fast pace, and she's been so fast paced herself. I've been moving fast paced.
Yeah, so, she's very advanced. Like
and I gotta take my own step back and slow her down, just like a miniature step, so she can still enjoy herself. Is just being a 4-year-old.
Yeah, for sure. That's for damn sure. And that's another thing now though that I think is weird. I don't know if my mother or fathers have to do that shit, but monitoring time because it goes so fast, and a lot of us just get caught up in living like these days and these hours. That shit goes fast. So
fast.
Being able to step back and pull all that shit back into perspective because the band of it will widen 1,000,000 miles a minute, you know what I mean? And you'll be exposed to a whole type of shit that
you weren't even ready for it because it just flew in.
Man, so the monitoring of time, damn good, important thing to remember because, and that's in what they intake in terms of what they watch, what they read. Like you just tend to go with the times, man, and just let them advance at the rate that everybody else is advancing when that ain't necessarily healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That comment right there, 110%.
Right, that's true.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's why I said, like, not to be funny, but I want to kind of control that for the first aspect of my child's life because I don't want just anybody putting anything. Like, I want my kids to be like eating a certain type of way, not drinking certain type of things with certain things in them. Like, I don't want to go to my mom's house for a weekend, you been drinking Kool-Aid and red juices and all this shit all weekend. Now you get home, you drinking freshly pressed juice and you don't like it because it ain't got red 40 and it's 7. You know what I mean? Like, no.
It's imperative for you too, because until an age where you're able to express, no, my mom don't let me do that. Oh no, I don't eat that. It's expressly important for you to. That way they know in their minds what's good and what's bad, according to how you want them to know what's good and what's bad in terms of outside other bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's absolutely imperative for you to control that whole, as much as you can, that whole bubble. Because when they get to other people's house, they can say, oh no, my mama don't let me eat that. You know, so, you never had this? No, we don't eat this at my house. You know what I'm saying?
Or like with my daughter, like she would say, if it's something that if I don't feel like she should eat it, I'll be like, I don't like it. And she takes what I don't like and she runs with it. So for me, it's more, I'll be like, that's not really something I think you would like. And then it's not also good for you. So she'll take that and she'll just be like, no, thank you. I don't like that. Or I don't want that. Or no, my daddy doesn't eat that. So she'll deflect that situation away, like trying to get it away like as nicely as possible as she can without trying to be rude.
But establishing those rules and morals as soon as possible is highly important because when they do leave your house, they will have a sense of, moral stability in terms of their health, in terms of their, well-being, in terms of, you can't tell me nothing about me being there. I know I'm beautiful. I got, you know what I'm saying? I done been in pageants. You niggas don't even know.
Exactly.
Like, it's really important for you to establish that in them. So when they do go out to the outside world, the shit that they hear, they will generally bring it to you. If they don't know it to be right by you, they will generally bring it to you and be like, well, my friend said, or my teacher said, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you gotta have that open door policy as well for your kid to feel open enough to bring that stuff to you, because I feel like I'm kind of talking about that with my mom this morning too. Like, she wasn't as emotionally available as in her mind that she thinks she was. So it's like, when it comes to talking to you and bringing things to you and sensing to you, I didn't feel comfortable enough to do that. Whereas, of course, when stuff will happen, you're like, you can come and tell me anything. That's not true. So it's like,
don't feel like that.
Keep that door open.
Yeah.
You have to keep that open door open, because just so your child at least feels that transparency. Because whether if it actually happens or not, just having that feeling when the opportunity does come up, then it's just gonna happen. Like now as an adult, I know that.
Yeah.
But we didn't establish that until I was an adult. You know what I mean? So it's like, you gotta keep that.
I feel like our dad knows, you know, we got that open door policy. That's like right now, Taj. You know, now mom is more with our real open door policy. So her dad gets it from both ends. Like,
yeah,
you can run up to me. She literally runs up to me, whatever pops into her mind type open door. Like, she just jump in my lap. She'll lay on my lap. She'll say something off the wall, like, "Daddy, I just saw two dolphins and they were fighting, and then they hugged, and then they made up, and then she just disappeared." And I just be like,
"Yeah, that's kids."
I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
and
but
then,
you gotta
and
let
then
that roll.
And then she'll come to me with something more real and something how she feels, and if she's upset, and then it's like I just sit there and I just listen. I don't even say anything back to her until she acknowledges that she needs until I can understand that she needs a response to something.
Right.
Like if she's feeling down or she's feeling upset, I understand that's when I respond. I don't respond just to any and everything as soon as it come out.
Right.
I let her get it out and form her own words into her sentence, and I try to understand it with my best ability.
But
that's
any answer.
That's
aspect patience. Yeah.
And then like I always want to make sure I'm not just jumping in and just to anything and everything. I just want to make sure that she knows that if she comes to me, she's not getting no negative reaction. It's all positive and open.
And you know, but that's so important. I'm gonna start here because, like, not having a dad growing up and not having that, you feel like kind of closed off because you don't always want to express certain things to your mom. Sometimes,
yeah,
you need that other person to be able to like express that to, and like you said, just sit there and listen. So like if it's a response needed, then it's a response needed, and if not, like you just there, give me a hug, I'm listening to you, I'm here. Like that is important to have, especially as a girl. So that is really beautiful that you have the understanding for her, even though she's so young, because that's amazing.
And it's a beautiful practice to have too, because that's how you're going to set that pace. And it's for as long as it stays that way, it's always going to be that way. You know what I mean?
And since my dad's like far, so you know he lives in California, so it was like majority of my relationship with him was always due to being over the phone. So it was really like I really had to understand that he had so much more patience than what I was giving him props for, because of the simple fact that no matter how I felt, he kept the same cool voice. Like it was always the same tone and never switched up no matter what. And then even when I went and I was with him like for 3 months, I felt like I just had like a whole just better connection even more with my dad. And me and my dad, we just sat there majority of the time and we just watched TV. We watched the game together, but it was just like,
but it's bonding.
I felt like it was that time that there was something that I didn't have. And then once I got it myself, also knowing that like I got my little 4-year-old, like that just made me also just want to give that to her even more. Like I don't want her to feel like there's ever really a moment in time where it's like she feels as though she doesn't have that open and then like that love that just is just sitting there. It's like you don't have to go nowhere to search for it.
Yeah, you don't have to work for it. It's just waiting.
Yeah, it's just like you just whatever I'm doing, I don't even care. Just come over, talk to me, you know, keep your distance, especially if I'm in the kitchen. She knows she don't go in the kitchen, or if she does, she'll stay by the entrance. You know, that's along with that discipline. And I just want to make sure I keep everything open for her, really into those lines.
Yeah.
In her communication.
So
that's dope.
Yeah, that's it. Like I said, it's a hell of a practice to have, because once you set that pace, then you know
it's gonna always just keep up there.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I don't never want that pace to fall, because you know I just want to make sure everything is straight. To cap off the earlier question, how do you get to? Because you guys are teenagers. When did you guys know that your world costs money? Like it cost, decision making cost. And all the things that you want cost. Like, when did you guys know that? Goddamn, maybe I need to start doing something to help out of some shit. Shoot, I say mine's
I'll let you go first, because I'm not.
When I wanted my own phone, when I wanted my own phone, like when I wanted to have something that was like preciously mine and like only mine, and when I started thinking I want things that I want to go get stuff. I wasn't really.
What age would you say that happened for you?
Like 15.
Okay.
15, because before that, I was more concerned with being outside, hanging out with my friends. And we didn't need much. We always, going to the candy lady, we'd always have a few dollars, always just saved up from anything that we did. Candy lady wasn't really much, but it was when we started going to want to go out to get our own food. Yeah. We wanted to go places like the movies and stuff like that. And it was like, well, you can't. You need to have this amount of money to do it. And I'm thinking to myself, like, it's always been free for me. You know what I'm saying? But then I'm thinking, like, it's free for me because I was young. Now that I'm getting up there in the ages and I'm doing stuff on my own. And 16 came around, started working. 17 was working really hard, just trying to live life. So it was really 15 because that was like my eye opener to the actual world that I had to pay for my own stuff.
Yeah, got to get up, get out, and get something around this bitch.
I would say for me, very young, because I started like babysitting and doing stuff for people like very, very young. So like I started like making my own money on like 10, 11, 12. I'm babysitting, making money here and there, doing little stuff. And then when it comes to like working, I think I got my first job at 15 with a workers permit. And after it just, but I've always known that though, because like seeing my life and seeing like things that was going on, I was very like, so I always feel like I'm an old soul because I was very knowledgeable, but I didn't have the age and the power to actually do nothing about it. Mm-hmm. So it's like the moment that I realized that I could, I feel like it was always in me to know that like if you don't work, you don't eat. Like I feel like I embedded that in myself very young. So the moment that I could work, it's like, yeah. And even now, like being older, like if I don't got it, I just don't got it. Like, I can't. Like if I can, I'm like, ask them please. And if it's there, it's there. If it's not, then like shit, I just gotta stick it out. You know what I mean? Like I just gotta stick it out until I can get it. I can work harder, or do more, because like I'm gonna embed it. The moment you can understand, you get what I'm saying. So what's $1? You know what $1 is? What you can do with $1? Like the moment that I can get the value,
they teach you how to count money. You gonna show them what it's for.
I'm drilling it.
My dad is also a big factor with that, for just also helping along with my daughter, because whenever he get on the phone with her, it's like he'd be like, how much is this? He'll hold up $1, and he'll give her. He'll be like, do you want the $1 or do you want the change? She always wants the change because
it's shiny.
And then she can feel it in her hand, and she can hand it out. She can hand out a lot more change than she can hand out with $1 in one go. So she knows she get a lot more out of the change as a distribution wise, but she's not realizing she's losing her value in it. But that's also something that's something I try to instill in her now, is just like the money value, because she likes, to spend. She gets her little cashier toys and stuff like that, so she learns her own money. She likes to spend money that ain't hers. So, I'm trying to get her to understand that money don't grow on trees.
So, but it wasn't anything or one specific issue or situation that forced you guys to feel that way. You just inertly walked into it.
Being the oldest, naturally wanting more for my siblings and myself naturally was the most motivation for me. I feel like it was, like I said, seeing it and being young and not being able to do it, and then realizing, I can't get a job at 15. I just got to go to my counselor and get this little slip. Bet. And did that. You know what I mean? Just being the oldest and seeing now I'm the most motivated parent will definitely spike you into needing shit to get done, for sure.
Yeah. And ToJo was like alongside my biggest, push factor along with a lot of stuff, because seeing her have her own stuff, that made me want my own. But I was just too young to get my own. She was making hers. So once I got to that 16, and I'm like, I want my own phone. That's why I was like, she had hers.
I was paying for everybody's phone at one point.
She was definitely my push factor.
Is the birds and the bees talk ever? That's the real question. I was waiting until we got to hear.
Yeah, because my daughter's grown.
I'm gonna be bees with the kids.
That is gonna be one of the easiest conversations, and I already got it planned out for myself. I don't even care. I'm gonna be straightforward. I'm gonna be blunt with her, especially when she hit that age. Once she hits the age, especially going into middle school, you know, I'm an inch conversations and like, hey, you know, asking her about her daily life, you know, seeing if she got any interest in boys. You know, she's not gonna want to tell me off that, but I'm gonna want to know, and I'll forever far her interest is. You know, I'm gonna always pay attention to what she say and how her wardrobe changes, her life starts to change, and especially just, you know, look, girls have their cycles. So once she hit her, that's really when I'm gonna start having a.
Yeah,
but
that's the problem. I say
around
that time to have that conversation, because that's when anything is possible.
And I want to sit her down and like have both parents and talk with that, not just one side from one parent. I want both parents to be able to just be there and give both their 2 cents, especially the mom, because, you know, my daughter's a girl, so it's gonna be better to hear from the woman than the dad, because it's like, ew, you know.
So as long as you have that open line of communication we was talking about earlier, that should be it'll have a certain level of discomfort, but it'll be a whole lot easier to do because you guys are used to talking, used to communicating, used to chopping it up.
Like me, you and mommy, like we're open. Me, him, and my mom, like we have the weirdest conversations. Like people from the outside will hear tell you, like, you talk about that with your mom, and it's like, first time. It's not weird. Like we have that.
My first time I came home, my first time I came home, first person I bragged to was my mom. I was like, she was like, what? I was like, your boy got him some. Your boy got him some. She was like, I don't want to hear that. And then proceeded to open up her ears. And I was like, man, mom, let me tell you. And then, but it's been on since then. You know, it's like, see, I just said, we're open. Our family's like very open. And it's like, people do look at it like weird. Like if you can't get into the blend at the beginning, in the middle, you're going to be looking like,
what the
where the hell did we, like, how did we get here?
Yeah, definitely.
See, conversations are like that with my mother. My mother, just in general, is very open. So
I love her. Oh my God, I love her.
So yeah, we got all that. Like, I mean, you know, my mother is the type of mother who tell us she could have swallowed us, and up until we realized what that meant,
I get the 3 S's.
Like, oh, really? Stop acting like that, mother. You're nasty. But yeah, so
she always give me her 3 S's. And my mom always give me her 3 S's every time I get on her nerves, man. She was like, you could have been spit, smeared, or swallowed. I swear, you could have been right on my back.
Like literally, and it's like,
ma'am, chill. I'm like, I didn't want to know that. I didn't want to know what you were doing.
As an adult, can you?
How receptive are you to being parented?
All
the time. I mean,
I'm very receptive because I feel like my parents are different now than they were when they had me and growing up. So like, I feel like they have learned a lot as well. So like, what they told me before, I feel like the answer is not the same, and I feel like it's a lot more like calming and to understand.
But even on your own, like, just not even like even outside of your parents, like, I don't even take. I listen to people what they say, but I take more along what I see their actions, because it's like, you're not gonna tell me that I should treat my child one way and then you're treating your child this way, because that's how your child is. You know your child, and I know my child. So if I know I gotta tell my child to go sit down and point, don't be like, oh, don't point, because that's no, she's gonna go because she knows the bedroom's that way. Or if I just go like this, she knows. She drop her head, drop whatever she got, then she'll pick it up. She knows how to get her little. But I'm always down to take new parenting advice from anybody, because I'm 22.
Man, you got a lot to learn.
I got experience with helping raising children, but I don't got experience. This is like I have 4 years experience. That's it.
So my mother, because it's my mother, it's a certain level of respect, right? And you know, even in being grown, you give your parents a certain amount of respect regardless what's going on, right? Even being raised by like a grandparent or whatever, you still have
it's that respect and that
right.
It's that discipline that you have.
I
But
think
Yeah.
to a certain point, because you grown and you do your shit a certain way, you also
Yeah.
know that your parents are, they've been
they're
here.
grown
So
and they
you
they
gotta
might be
listen
stuck
to
in their
right.
ways, but yeah, you can always take something in. Nobody always say you don't got to take everything somebody say, and you don't got to apply everything.
Right.
Sometimes
Right.
you got to sit back and listen, because maybe what they saying might not apply to the child's life at this moment.
Yep.
And you're
Or
not
the
even
situation.
realizing.
Exactly.
And then that could pull out. You could literally pull that right out your arsenal. Like 2 years later, bow, wow, throwing right at them like boogie, and then they just like, oh, I ain't see that one coming, because you're already ahead.
Or it could be a different situation. It could be situational. It could be timing. Yeah, everything changes.
It's like sometimes just taking things in, and it's like I realize that just being a parent and also just being an adult, it's like I just got to take it in.
Right.
And understand and comprehend, and it don't always got to be applied. Not everything gets applied.
Right.
Some things just got to be understood.
I can tell you how receptive we are to being parented, because when something go wrong with the kid, the first person you go call is your mama. You know,
somebody else.
Yeah.
You're calling somebody else.
No.
The answer.
No.
What you
the first person you call is your mama, nigga.
I
Hey, my
still
baby
call my
tripping.
mom. I don't
Right.
care.
You know what I'm saying? That's how
Well,
receptive we are to being
Even if she
parented.
give me the wrong answer.
Not being home, mother grown up. Okay, wait. That's a good question, but I do have one other question before we, because we only got a few minutes here. So I know I'm just trying to be punctual. But so when it comes to like parenting styles, like air quotes gentle parenting, and like I don't know what else you want to call it, abuse.
No, it's discipline.
Aggressive, maybe. Aggressive.
I say discipline because I'm gonna give y'all my views on gentle parenting right now. Right now, I'm at a good 10%, because what a lot of people would say is abuse. It ain't abuse. One, if I tell her to go stand in the corner and I do give her something, that's not abuse. That is discipline. If I elevate my voice but not raise it to where it's like I'm screaming at her, but I apply elevation, a lot of people would, they'll take that out of gentle parenting, because gentle parenting is the calm, low tone, the talk, I got patience. I'm human.
Right.
My patience for her is like, I got a high patience for her. But sometimes I tell you, that little girl, she knows how to punch it, rip it, and flip it with an instant. 1 minute I'm talking to her, the next minute go sit down. Catching myself because I don't want to cuss. I'm trying to, like, even her, we've taught her that cuss words are not okay. You do not say cuss words. So even when we're angry and I be like, Hade, go sit your ass down. She be like, Dada, that's a bad word. Okay, you put me in my place. That was wrong. Thank you. You helped me. And then I reword it, and I give her what she really needs, which is like, that nice calm and that talking to.
But
also with the stern.
On to like the question, like what you were gonna say, T.I., in terms of not having a dad in the house. You know what I'm saying? How do you think that would affect? How did it affect you, and how do you think it would affect Adir?
Okay, so for me, it left a lot of room for like to be mischievous, and I realized, because like I was going out of my daughter's life for 3 months, and I was also going out of her life for 6 months when I went to basic training. So between those 9 months added up, I really did see a big difference. Those 6 months that I was gone, I saw a lot less because she was just turning 3, so she wasn't really in herself. But those 3 months that I was gone, I came back. I'm dealing with a whole completely different kid, because it's like she has her own new routine, but it's also her attitude.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yes, I will never downplay any single mother or any mother that's just raising a kid on their own at a momentary time, because that's hard.
Right.
And any woman that could do it, I
give
them a round of applause. Yes, they are some strong women, I promise you. But it's that male presence still. A kid, girl, boy, they need a male presence in their life, because they need that structure that the father can give no matter what. I don't care what type of dad you are, you're going to always find a way to give your kid structure, whether they listen to it or not.
Right.
that's always just that one little aspect that I feel is that's very important for a child, is to have their father in their home, or not even just in their home, just in their life
in general.
Yeah, in general, like communication, physical, all of that. That's really important for a child.
100, because not having my father, like I can say, like having you now and being able to talk to you. No, for real. Like having you now being able to talk to you as an adult, like I'm in a way still healing my inner child through it. You know what I mean? Because it's like I literally look to you for advice and things you behave like, you helping me right now, but you also helping the kid me on the inside as well too. So I feel like
that younger you.
If I I feel like if I had that, like a lot of the things that I was doing, like we kind of talked about this a little bit when we had the show with Jay and them, like a lot of the things that I was doing, how I seen things, how I felt that I had to be, like I always had such a dominant.
Oh, didn't have no dominant internet, I can tell you that much.
I had such a dominant energy because I always felt like I had to be the dad. I had to have that structure. I had to be my mom's backbone. I had to be there. I had to be her partner in a sense to help everything go along. You know what I mean? Go smoothly. But that's like a man job. That's a dad job. You know what I mean? Like, so I was a daddy. Shit.
Yeah,
so
I definitely say you. Like, you did play that role.
It came. That's what I'm saying. Like that's where a lot of it came from, and I feel like that's where a lot of my masculinity comes from in general. Like I sometimes have to catch myself. Like you are a girl, Damon. Chill out. Because I are a girl. Sometimes, like yesterday, for instance, I was out to eat with my boyfriend and his brother. We're literally knocking on girls. Like we're like girls at the table like the bros. Like, I have to like, oh my God, you're
disconnect that.
And then you're here with your boyfriend, like, ma'am, can some feminine energy please slide around?
Exactly.
Please. Like, because
now you look like you just wanted a bro.
Yeah, it's just like
But see, that's crazy because he may appreciate that though. Like, because he can take you with him anywhere.
He can be comfortable with you.
Right. So that may not be a bad thing. But
yeah, that's you having that little.
It's a fine balance, though, for sure.
That's good. You really got
It's a fine balance for sure.
But and I definitely appreciate it. I feel like I could touch on that too. Like like having Hidea now, and like then having Pop, because Pop was more like he was always under my wing, which Pop is my little brother. He has autism. Right. He clung to me when he came home. Because they said that he would. It was always going to be one person. And it's like, he's been just always there hanging on to me. It's like, I've had him from my childhood to adulthood. So it was like, I had that initial thought of parenting. So it's like, when I transitioned it, I was just transitioning, and I had to transition my mind from dealing with an autistic child to actually just dealing with a regular, more high functioning child. Right. And so for me, it was the transition. It wasn't really the parenting aspect, because shoot, you can ask anybody. I remember one time I came home, just a little off topic, but it goes back to like that little thing about when you were talking about not knowing where someone is, when you were talking about like losing them. I came home from school, my little brother wasn't home. I almost flipped my entire house upside down just to find him. Right. So
because your instinct was like, where's
it was like I was outside. Like I came home, took my book bag off, and I was outside just like that, like running around the block because my mom was playing with me. She's like, I don't know where he's at. He's not upstairs. He's not in the room. I'm like,
you gotta find him. Help. What you doing?
Man, my heart was racing. So it's like my parenting instinct has always been there. So it's like I'm learning a lot of new things. But I'm not really doing anything that's like hasn't been already done by me before, or in a way done by me. Right. I'm just broadening my horizon, especially with a little girl.
Right. Yeah, because girls and boys are different. So I definitely feel that.
Different.
Girls are. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like a girl is harder.
Definitely.
That's why we want all boys.
A boy, I could be hard on them, but I could be caring. Her, I gotta be caring and then hard. I gotta tend to her emotions, and then I gotta
be stern. Yeah.
Then I gotta be stern. Then I gotta tend to those emotions, but I still gotta make sure she know, like, you still in the wrong.
Yeah, it's definitely a dynamic.
You my princess.
Yeah, I need a little boy, so I can be like,
yeah, like go sit down.
It's definitely a dynamic.
But But I have a little boy that's a little girl because I do that. So I'm like, go sit down because it's like I can't have her be soft.
Traditional relationships, how do you effectively
can't have her be soft
while maintaining different home environments? That right there is the
communication.
Communication,
the way of life. But you gotta have a partner that's with that shit though. You gotta be on the same page. It's not hard.
And it's understanding. You guys gotta understand that communication and understanding that thing really goes hand in hand. Especially when you guys are really trying to co-parent, because co-parenting is like one of the go to Arisma. Co-parenting is like one of the co-parenting is like one of the that's that rewiring. That's where that real rewiring come in, because now you have to do what they doing over there at their house and still maintain what you got going on at your house. So
right.
If they're not maintaining your discipline that you like to instill, it's gonna mess it up on your end. And that's S. Yeah. Co-parenting without the same household, that's gonna definitely cause that friction like she was just showing right there. It's gonna confuse the kid.
And I feel like that's why a lot of kids in like co-parent situations be a little, you know what I'm saying, messed up. Not messed up, but messed up because it's like a back and forth, a tug and a pull. Like it's not that good flow, like of did it out, or understand like, okay, I do this at my daddy's house. It's more of a, my daddy don't care, so I do whatever in his house. Not go to mama's house. Not act like a military child. Like no, you can't have that. You gotta have that healthy balance of understanding, because when you at your daddy's house, you need to still have your bedtime. You need to still have the time to do this. You need to still have time to do that. So that
because when you go back to mom's house,
mama not on your ass about to beat you because you're not doing what you know you're supposed to be damn doing.
So here's the thing about that, right? It's all about understanding and coming to an understanding about the basics in terms of the child, because the way you run your household in terms of the way your ebbs and flows go are going to be different than anybody's household across the world, because it's yours. But as long as the rights is rights, the wrongs is wrongs, like you're talking about bedtime, bedtime's a bedtime. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that shit, other shit is subjective regardless. You know what I'm saying? It's subject. You don't celebrate Christmas. You celebrate Christmas. I don't celebrate Christmas. Yeah, they know not. They ain't gonna get no gifts from my house. You know what I'm saying? They know ain't gonna. I'm gonna take them around and get the gifts from their aunties and people who do celebrate them, and then we gonna go to the house, have dinner, and then watch some movies, do what we do. But when you go to your mama's house, I'll have a tree. I'll make sure so you get them on all the holidays. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of shit is subjective. You know what I'm saying? But as long as the basics are agreed upon, bedtimes, we raise them to do this. They not eating this. I raise my household to eat this. Well, you go out to provide this for them. No problem. When they come over, I'll make sure they eat this, and that, because I know they don't eat that over there. And we want to maintain that within our kids. That shit is all about communication. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And understanding, but all the rest of that shit is, just as long as the basics are tied down. Right. But all the basics are tied down, and that shit shouldn't be hard at all. It shouldn't be hard at all. You know what I mean? Because it's in the best interest of the child. So
that's what matters the most. That's what people lose. Oh my God, I was waiting for y'all to say it. It's the best interest of the child. For all the people in the back, it's the best interest in the child. For all the people in the front, it's the best interest for the child. For the child. I'm not saying a bad relationship because your child. No, I'm saying your child ain't gonna be happy if you're not happy. So make yourself happy and make your child happy. Anything you do, base it around your child. Parents be living for themselves and just providing for their child. They don't base what they do behind their child and the fact they have a family and what they're doing. That's some of the things that blows my goddamn.
Well, I mean, especially because you got a chance to live yours, and when they get a certain age, you'll still be able to live yours. So the sacrifice in time and understanding, no, that shit shouldn't be a big issue. Especially if you want to be there and you have the child's best interest at heart, and it's imperative to know that both parents are there and both parents love them, whatever. That shit's important. So again, still communication, man, and think about the child first. This is about the kids, man. No matter what you're going through, no matter what's going on,
always about
civil motherfuckers. Like if I'm up and you down, and I know my kids over there with you. If you need help, I'm gonna help you because it's about the kids.
Not
about you and I.
If you can't feed them, send them back where they can get fed.
No, that's unnecessary.
That's because like that's taken away from them, which they don't really need to be taken away from, especially
it ain't good for the kids, man. You know what I'm saying? You sacrifice your time and all that bullshit, like that shit's unnecessary. Like motherfuckers gotta get outside themselves and really fucking
and just get into
that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
Gotta
it can
get
be
back
an
to the
issue, but
focus.
it can be easily fixed. It's not like the end of the world. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, the
Mhm.
kid's gonna die and structurally implode and gonna be a serial killer. Or nah, man, you just gotta
But
maintain
sometimes that's how
a
they
certain
get beat.
level of normalcy, a certain
Yep.
level of fucking consistency, and it shit'll work out. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? You pop up at all the events, she pop up at all the events. Nigga,
And that's
everybody's
going
rooting
and
for the
that shit's
kid.
gonna
You know what I'm
always
saying?
that shit's gonna
It's
always
gonna
know their
stick,
parents.
nigga. Every time I have
They
a
got
game,
that.
my
They
mom
got
and
that
my
whole
dad,
love.
they came
Right.
together when it
Fight
was most
for it.
important. Yeah, they didn't stay in the same house, but that's I feel like that's what's important.
They were always
Like,
showed up.
that's why I
Right.
love the way
Right.
that you and Zaya do operate because, like, yeah, even if y'all aren't dating or whatever, y'all still Zaya and Hadea
We
sees both
still
of y'all.
pop out as a
You know what I
family.
mean?
We
Like
don't,
y'all
we
are
don't pop
still
out
both
separately.
present.
Like
Y'all still
yeah,
can get along in the same room. Y'all could go out and have a family outing. Even if y'all aren't dating, y'all can still go do family stuff. Y'all can do
yeah.
whatever. And it
We do
don't be
family
no
dinners
tension.
and movies and outings.
Right,
Like
it's no
it'll
tension.
you would yeah, and you would literally think sometimes if you see like how we are out, you'd be like, oh, that's just a little happy little small family. Whole time you don't know. Everybody living in their own separate households.
Right,
never
right.
know
But that's
because
what's important. Like y'all
out
That
think about
normalcy
her.
to the kid is what's important.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like
Her
we,
idea
we're
of what
keeping up.
family
We're
is.
still
Y'all
keeping up
sticking
our
to that.
family appearance for our child because it's her life. It's her world. We revolving around her at this point.
Right.
And we just want to make sure it's all still the same. Like what she experienced from when she was in the womb, literally, it's the same nurture care. It's still both parents, still providing that same amount of love, still providing that same amount of time, that discipline, and all of that. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say, as the male, I do feel like I do put more of my discipline down because I see her. I see my princess all the time. I call her out. I don't let nobody else call her out on it. I don't let her mama call her out, but I call her out. That's why, and that's how we kept it. I call her out on her little, you know,
Yeah.
and mom do it. You know, still the same. It's always that same discipline. It's that same structure, no matter who it is. But she just know it's a little more crazier if it's coming from me because I save her. I'll try to give her that benefit of the doubt. Try to let her fix herself before she got to get fixed.
Yeah. Hey, but that's cool though because she also know Pops ain't gonna let nothing happen to her. You know, if all else fails, okay. You know what I'm saying? I got safety.
And that's her favorite person. She love her daddy now. Let me tell you something. Her daddy and her daddy, she love her.
My safety net, and that's what I said. That's why I said that in the beginning. Like with the outing, she knows that I'm definitely that safety net. You can run to me, ain't nobody gonna mess with you, ain't nobody gonna bother you.
Yeah, as a parent, it's easy for one to get caught up in the bullshit that the parents are going through.
Oh,
but
definitely.
Also as a parent, stepping back. You know, because I only have one son too, and another baby girl. So having both of them at the same time puts me in a whole lot of different dynamics that I've never been in before. So it's all a learning experience still. You know, because my oldest ain't but a decade. My oldest son ain't nothing but a decade old. So it's still an experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
But through all the bullshit, man, I try to be there for them. You know what I'm saying? Like regardless what me and the mother may be going through. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's about them. Like, yeah, for sure. I got that. Whatever. Yeah, you got to go do this. I got that. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's the kind of thing that you got to kind of walk into. You know what I'm saying? You can't run into none of the shit because then you'll miss a lot of the shit. So you got to walk into it, be perceptive of everything when you co-parenting because you never know what the other person is going through.
Right.
And it has to be vice versa. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
you got to be in a situation where everybody is understanding and receptive of what's going on. And at the end of the day, these two kids have to grow up adjusted to some degree. And you play all the responsibility in that. So, yeah, man, I think co-parenting can work. It's on the parents. It's on the situation. It's on the people.
Thanks.
But, yeah, man, that was a nice show. I understand one of you have to go to work soon. So we're going to go ahead and set this one down.
That is me that has to go to work. I'm just...
Yeah, man.
That's why I wish. So when you guys if you guys ever want me to come back on the show, I would definitely be happy for any other subject, anything like that.
I love that we get that same response from
everybody. I'm telling you, this is
contagious. Because it's like,
it's dope.
You don't have to feel tense when you guys talking. You know, it's just be there, be here.
Man,
you know, it's not like, hey, 45 questions, go answer.
right.
Like fuck, I didn't bring my notebook today. You know, it's actually It's all natural.
Thank you so much for coming. We really
Yeah,
appreciate
definitely.
you
We
for
enjoyed
coming.
it. Yes, sir.
And we'll work out some more, guest star show because we definitely love having people come on and give their side because it's us just going back and forth. So it's great to have somebody else to bounce off of
Perspective is a
every now
beautiful
and
thing.
again.
You know what I'm saying?
Heck
Perspective
yeah.
is a beautiful thing.
And thank you guys for having me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Everybody don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel and also the Piranha Pond. You know what I'm saying? My name is Tojo. This is my lovely brother. I don't know which side you're on. My lovely brother, my lovely father. We love you guys, and we do hope you guys enjoy the rest of your lovely Sunday.
Peace.
Peace.
That's even worse.
Grab my shit, put it back over me, and tucked into it like a burrito roll myself.
Yeah, that's me for sure. Like you ain't go get it.
Bitch, you gonna take it this time, right?
You got to pull hard. Yeah.